Hey guys, it's Sandy here, so I'm going to explain a quick theory about who I believe the traitor is. This isn't any definitive proof, this isn't anything that you haven't probably already heard, but I'm just here to debunk a lot of things that a lot of people are saying about the traitor. And as this video will probably become outdated really fast as I'm making this video, it is chapter 169, and I am talking about that comes out tomorrow, and there's a lot of stuff that will probably be revealed in that chapter. But the reason why people think there is a traitor is because President Mike in chapter 83 made a quick remark, which was quickly rebutted by Midnight and Snipe, saying that there is possibly a traitor, because why else would they attack USJ and know where the school trip is, even after changing the location and not telling anybody where it is except for the staff. Now this has a lot of people thinking, along with this latest arc about the Yakuza, a lot of people are thinking that maybe it's a pro hero that's the traitor, maybe one of the teachers that's a traitor and not one of a students. But I'm here to debunk that real quick, and I'm here to talk about who I really think is the traitor. So a lot of people are saying, because in this latest arc, let's just round up everything that happened in this latest arc, traitor wise, quote unquote. I literally am doing quotes, but pretty much what people are saying is that the 8 precepts, they knew that the heroes are coming, but that's a given. It's not something that you can't already tell, like knowing, because they're the Yakuza. They have people on the streets, they have people everywhere, they have their sources. It's not easy to say, of course, because if you think about it, with Eri leaving and running conveniently into Deku and Mirio, you obviously know that was no coincidence. And of course, the 2 young heroes did not keep their composure, because Deku was ready to go off right there and save the girl right there. They knew that they were going to come. So we can debunk that real fast too, that it's not because of a traitor that the 8 precepts knew that the heroes are coming. They knew already. They also talk about Horikoshi dropping about the hero network, and how this is a huge leap in like talking about the traitor, because then how else would they know about the heroes coming? Because they would say, though, they have somebody that has access to the hero network and they told them about the registration about going on this operation. But that doesn't make sense. Easily you can hack it. It's also the villain alliance, they're also a part of it. There's a lot of things. They didn't know who all was coming, but they knew of the people that was there. And Night Eye, Aizawa, and Fat Gum are very well known heroes, especially Fat Gum, who was just recently involved with the Yakuza. Aizawa, who they were studying because of Eri's quirk, and Night Eye they ran into, and they just know him because that's All Might's sidekick. Everybody knows him. But they didn't know the quirks of the big 3 or the first years. You can see Overhaul talking about Mirio's quirk and Deku's quirk, just saying, oh, it just makes you faster and stronger. That's it. That's a stupid quirk. Or even like the 8 precepts fighting Kirishima. They don't necessarily say flat out like, oh, I know his quirk is hardening. They don't say any of that. So if the traitor was someone in UA, they surely would have mentioned the quirks of the kids as well, especially the big 3, because they fought the big 3. Well, at least they fought Mirio, so they would have at least known his quirk. But they didn't know their quirks at all. That's the biggest piece of information that people are saying to show that they're pro heroes, but that doesn't make any sense, because once again, like I said earlier in the video, if it was the case, the 8 precepts would have won, because they would have been well prepared, and they were prepared, but they weren't that prepared for all the quirks that was coming around them. So we can deviate out the fact that it's a pro hero, because the only pro hero that was also involved with everything else that happened was Aizawa. And why would Aizawa be a traitor, get his ass beat and permanently scarred and his eyes fucked up in the beginning of the series, just to prove a point that he's not a traitor? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. When he fought both times in the school trip and the USJ almost to death for those students, makes no sense. So we can easily rule out that it's a pro hero. Now I'm going to get into a couple people that people think are the traitors and why we can rule them out. Right now I've seen like theories about Shoji or like Kirishima or Sue. We're ruling those out. No. One that a lot of people talk about is the detective that All Might's best friend. They say that he is Black Mist because they have the same tie. Mind you, neither have been colored. Who cares? It's a tie. We're not saying Black Mist is a detective because the detective was super involved in the raid, and the Villain Alliance didn't know nothing about the raid, so we can rule it out immediately. So next big theory that a lot of people talk about is Hagakure being, about her being the traitor, but doesn't make sense either. So a lot of people say that because her quirk is invisibility, of course the invisible girl is going to be the traitor. One thing they point out is that only 19 votes were counted out of 20 students, so the only one that was, and she was the only one that wasn't confirmed voting. But the next part of this theory regards her activity at USJ. During the USJ attack, there was only 2 people whose positions were unaccounted for on the map, and I can pull up the picture right here. They say that Hagakure herself says that she was with Todoroki and saw him doing his best, being strong boy, best boy. But then she also talks about how Ojiro was by himself and was handling business. Now, as you can see on this map, they are very far away from each other. Now, it doesn't matter what Hagakure was doing. How could she have seen both? Her stories do not add up. But she was knocked out during the school trip, and we did see her sleeping, as we can all see in that one infamous photo that everybody brings up to say, who's the traitor? I can rule her out easy. She's just invisible, and she's just timid and shy. But a lot of people say we don't know her full quirk. She couldn't be not invisible. We could see her in other places because her quirk isn't invisibility, but more of the retraction of light, and it hasn't been completely explained. She's the only person in the class that hasn't got like a full quirk introduction, and a lot of people say it's because we haven't seen the full extent of her quirk or seen her in battle all the way or anything like that, but we have seen her use a special move where she retracts light and makes a giant flash. So I mean, could be that she's just making herself invisible because she's shy and scared and nervous, but either way, she's not the traitor. So next theory we have is about Kaminari, the infamous Kaminari theory. This was the giant 4chan shitfest thread that everybody went, oh, like what if Manoa takes his quirk and uses all the power and does it become stupid? And people started noticing too, because he was originally made to be a villain, but they decided to repurpose him into a hero. And he also said that Stain was cool. He also has a lot of stuff that teenagers would like, so people are starting to think maybe he's not a teenager because his room is so extra, but doesn't make any sense. Though I do think that this theory does have a lot of weight into it, just because you can see Kaminari, especially in the Hero's License exam, he's a very playful guy. He's kind of like Toby from Naruto, I want to say, where he's like playing, or like Shikamaru, where he's like playing around and he's like, oh no, and pretends to be the weak guy and then puts guy in a perfect trap and switches up his mood like in a snap of a finger, and he instantly wipes out the dude that even Bakugo and Kirishima couldn't take out. Granted, the guy had OP quirk, but a lot of people are saying maybe he's acting this whole time, but I just think he's just stupid and had a good moment, honestly. But we haven't really seen a lot of Kirishima other than that one defining trait in the Hero's License exams. We haven't really seen him in action in combat, because during the school trip he was in remedial classes with everybody else, and everywhere during USJ he was with Gyro the whole time and was captured by like the enemies. And now we go to the last theory, which is the theory that I honestly am believing, and by the time this video actually gets out, it probably will be proven false or true, never know, but it's the most credible right now. So it's Aoyama, yeah, the French guy, the French fry of the group. Especially these latest chapters with everything that's happened with him, with eating this cheese and the stalking Deku while he's sleeping and pelvic thrusting, laser thrusting fucking rock. But honestly, looking back after rereading the chapter, because everybody went crazy after the last 2 chapters after what the fuck Aoyama did, and reading back you can see a lot lately. Aoyama was the first person during the exams to get into freaking UA, that he was the first person to talk to Deku. He also saw Deku go all out with his quirk and knock himself out, which explains why he says you can't control your quirk. Your quirk's not meant for you, because even during the tournament arc, he also saw Deku. Everybody saw Deku break his fingers 55 times just to fight Todoroki. So I mean, it's not. Ioma's message in the chapter is smart. He explains it seriously. He's seriously telling him, listen, I know your quirk doesn't work for you, and I understand everything that's going on with you. But then, looking back, I've noticed a lot of things. Like, you can see Aoyama staring at Deku a lot lately. Like, in small scenes, you just see him staring. We haven't seen him really in action like that. But miraculously, Aoyama, during a school trip, while everything else is happening, he's cowering in fear, he's freaking out, he doesn't know what to do. Just as the villains were about to take Bakugo and Todoroki, he shoots out a laser and saves one of them. That's a big habla right there. Also, these last couple of chapters, no matter what, you can say he soiled himself, but that's not the look of somebody that soiled themselves. I mean, that is the look of somebody that soiled themselves. But that last panel, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen right here. This panel right here, this tells a lot. That's complete opposite character of him, especially the stalking. You can see that he's not smiling. Aoyama always has the V smile, but for some reason in these panels he wasn't smiling. Also, during the Hero's License exam, he also is seen talking about some mom and dad. Why am I different as everybody else? And that leads a lot of people to saying that Aoyama is quirkless, and that the belt was given to him by the Villain Alliance or some like underground people, black market stuff, to give him a quirk. But I don't think that he's necessarily quirkless. I just think his quirk, like he said, is not built for his body, and he just doesn't know how to control it or anything like that. But of course, over time, like Mirio, our quirk can be trash and eventually grow up to be super powerful. I think Aoyama will eventually get to know his quirk, but he just doesn't know right now. Also, a lot of people missed in the latest chapter 168 that when he's shooting all his crazy lasers pelvic thrust into the rock, he wrote a secret message. And that message says, I'm not going to say that because I do not know French. I'll put it up on the screen right there for you guys, which according to the chapter means still water runs deep. And I googled that from our great credible source Wikipedia, that it is a proverb of Latin origin that commonly takes to mean that plastic I'm not going to read all of that. It just means, it's from Julius Caesar, and it pretty much means that silent people are dangerous. What does that mean? Is that his way of telling people, I'm the traitor, watch out, or help me? Is this his way of reaching out to Deku because of Deku's being involved with the Villain Alliance and everything like that? It makes a lot of sense, but it also could be because Aoyama, as you can see, he's a night dweller guy. He goes around at night stalking Deku and all this other stuff and saying, I know, in the whole like cheese situation and stuff like that. Maybe he's talking about another student. Maybe he's not the traitor, but he knows somebody that is the traitor. Maybe he's talking about somebody else. But that's just a theory, so I can't really say anything because I know tomorrow's chapter is probably going to throw everything I just said out the window. So really all it is just a roundup of everything that we've had so far and what we could possibly see in the future and everything like that. My biggest prediction is that Aoyama knows who the traitor is or is the traitor, but I don't want to throw that out just because Horikoshi is quick to throw out red herrings and everything like that just to throw us out. But he does know something about the traitor. And I know this arc is going to be a lot about the traitor and Bakugo and all the people surrounding Aoyama, because this arc is going to be a lot about Aoyama. So we'll probably see a lot of Mina. She got a lot of development last arc. And probably a lot of Tokoyami, because a lot of people miss our favorite bird boy. But we won't know until now. So until then, I just really can say this is my roundup of all the theories and debunking most of them, because they are all trash and make no fucking sense except for Kaminari, which is the most fun, and I hope it comes true just because of the hype moments. But it's not going to happen because Horikoshi's not going to pull up 5 years ago we called it was Obito, and it really is Obito on some fan fiction stuff. He's got this plan. He's got it already set out what's going to happen in this show. So it's not going to be something as simple as that. So that's today's video. I'm going to be doing the chapter reviews for My Hero Academia tomorrow. Probably be doing some anime reviews and everything like that. So if you enjoyed the video, please give me your theories in the comments section and everything like that. And always stay royalty, big V's, and we're out.